Did you see those creatures? There's no
Hello,
way
this
we
is
can survive this.
Maddie77. Welcome to Bottom Feeders Incorporated.
This is crazy.
Today I'm going to be
Get out alive.
trying to run the table in the Aliens versus Pinball table. I'm not going to guarantee it, but
Maybe that's a good thing.
going to give it a shot.
You can't be serious.
Plus make some channel notes while I'm still figuring this out before I have any real kind of audience. Now that I've found editing tools on the PS4 that I didn't realize existed, some stuff, pinball, maybe if I ever record on Rush, things like that, I'll be doing commentary while playing. Other stuff, like if I do Let's Plays playthrough, like I do have something I'm going to be starting to post. I'm going to add audio afterwards, because it'll be easier for some games, and I don't want to get into that habit of talking just to talk, but on the other hand, areas of dead silence, which with a pinball or fast-paced racing game's a little less of an issue, but like if I'm doing a heavy story game, I don't want to do that. So it'll keep my pacing on and allow me to talk about things that aren't necessarily going on screen, because I won't have to concentrate on both at the same time. That's probably killing my play right now. I was going to do Adventure Time. I might eventually still get to that game, but for now, because I had started recording it, like I said, before the editing, knowing I had the editing equipment or software, and just the way, like I said, I'd have things where I'd be talking,
Look at him go.
trying to keep up some kind of commentary, some solo, and then there'd be these long stretches where I wouldn't say anything, and I'd remember I wasn't saying anything, and it just gets a little too hard. So even if I do it, I'll be re-recording it.
I'm sure he'll destroy
But
them.
for now,
I really hope you're right.
I'm going to keep going with the pinball. I might start doing on Rush a little bit of single player probably, because I got to go through and get some of the goals done in earlier levels. As for any kind of major playthrough, I got 2 games that I'm going to be recording and working on. One is Vikings Wolves of Midgard, which is kind of a Diablo clone, which I'm definitely going to be playing. And I'm definitely going to record and put up some videos. I don't know if I'm going to do a whole playthrough, but I'm definitely going to be doing some videos on that. And the other one is I'm doing Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. And I already have 4 pieces of raw footage recorded, but I need to edit them, put the commentary in. And part of it is because I'm going to be talking about art games and art in games, and does that game even succeed as an art game, which is a lot easier to do if I'm able to edit the footage and watch the footage and
Seems so. Now
have kind of a theme versus just trying to do it on the fly.
They are not my friends.
So as for this table,
Boom!
the key to running the table is doing all the mission modes. And unlike some tables, this is something that varies from table to table. You don't have to actually complete the missions. You just have to set them all off. Though you should try to complete the missions, obviously, for a higher score. And running the table is how you get the trophy, too. And it's a pretty neat last mission, because when you set it off, it actually is literally an alien versus predator. You fight the alien queen, actually, which is fun. Setting off the missions, I don't know the exact 100% how many times you gotta hit it, where exactly you gotta hit it, but it's all about hitting that little alien up there. But not like I did before. When you break the bricks around them and hit them, that's not what sets off the missions. That's just kind of a hurry-up score. has to do with that. Yeah, set something off. What do we got? Vertigo, so I must have already did Armed and Dangerous.
Hunter better shoot them and not us.
Kind of like this
Really
mission.
aiming at those targets now. Look at him go!
It's one of the easier missions to pull off too, as long as you can make the shots. I'm having some trouble today, but I probably succeed at it more often than I don't. But partly because you can't lose the ball in this mode.
Just one more
Which
shot.
seems to be the standard for most of these upside down type modes. It seems to be the same on the Infinity Gauntlet table. Oh, come on. So I failed. And I only needed one more shot.
He's good.
For high scores, that over there. Oh, well, I gotta do the little matching game. What the heck? Over on the left, you see the little two flashing things under the Predator.
He's gonna use his wrist blades.
And that's gotta be one of the most... Oh, I just got it too.
I'm sure
That's a
he'll destroy them.
multi-ball. If you lock both balls, it'll turn into a multi-ball, and it's probably one of the most important things for scoring, based on the fact that there's no cooldown on it, there's no limit to it, there's no special conditions. You can lock the balls at any time, and all you gotta do is lock both balls and it sets off the multi-ball. So you could technically, if you can make the shot and you're good enough, just keep running that multi-ball all day. I mean, in practice, I don't think it ends up working that well, but definitely not a technique for novice players. It's a pretty hard shot to make.
He's good.
And depending on your viewpoint, I always use viewpoint too. I like to see the whole table in front of me, and I like to see what's behind stuff. But on some viewpoints, you either can't see that side thing, or the accuracy on exactly what
Clearly aiming
the
at those
shot
targets
needs to
now.
be is off.
That might actually save him.
Yeah, see, that's the alien hurry up. And of course, since I'm trying to explain it, I'm not hitting it, but whatever.
Seems the
There
hunter
we go.
just sealed the breach on the left. He's good.
See if I can make.
Look at him go!
Got some
He's
ball
clearly
saves,
aiming
so
at those targets now.
yeah. Trying to hit that lock, but
He's blocking the breach on the right.
Also, if I do have any viewers, I'm willing to take requests, except just because you want to see me do a certain table doesn't mean I'm good at said table. Like, yeah, I have my tables I'm really good at, but then I have tables that either I'm not good at or I just don't really care for them, so I don't play them often. And while I do know a lot of these tables...
We got in the way.
Ugh, there goes my ball. I'm one of those people, I tend to learn tables. I don't read the table guides often unless there's a really specific point I can't figure out. I like to learn by playing. I mean, I definitely like to learn, and when I learn how to use a table, I'll follow the rules and do the missions and modes, because obviously that's usually the best way to score.
He's clearly aiming
But
at
I
those
like to
targets
figure it
now.
out on my own. I don't like to read about it. So there's definitely tables that I can play pretty well, but I don't know all the rule sets or exactly what you should be doing all the time.
Look at him go!
That's why I did the Act 2 video. That's one of the few tables I know all the rules, and I pretty much know
He's good.
beyond the rules how you should use the table because of what the rules are. Which, like I mentioned in that video, I've mentioned it in other places, and I'll say it again here. For instance, the way the rules work with the with the wizard and multi-ball makes it so that you're best doing the Ray missions last, for instance. And that just came from playing. I didn't do any more investigating on that table. I just played it enough that I figured the rules out. Of course, when that table came out, I spent like a week doing nothing but playing that one table.
Wow!
Not just in
Nice.
pinball, but I didn't play anything but pinball.
He's clearly aiming at those targets now. He's blocking the breach on the right. Wow!
Okay, that was nice.
Look at him go!
Got a hit on him.
He's good.
Look at him go! He's clearly aiming at those targets now.
Okay, another mission. What do we got? Usually I skip around to the ones I like better, but
Only partially invisible?
because I'm kind of doing this to show how to set them all off, I'm just gonna do them in order. I don't even know what the point of this mission is. That's what I mean about not reading on them. Stay alive long enough. I don't know if it's from making shots or length of time, but eventually the invisibility will move from the flippers to the ball itself.
Okay, now I really can't see him.
Me neither. Me neither.
Yeah.
Impressive.
Well, that's one less thing to worry about.
Do I get a shoot again, or did I lose a ball?
What are those creatures doing?
Lost the ball.
He's clearly aiming at those targets now. It's too late.
Nice.
Let's tear each other apart.
I really hope the hunter wins this one.
Why can't both of them fail?
Little people talking in the background's funny. I don't know if it's supposed to be the people from the first movie or if they're just made up or what. I know there's a lot of comic books, but with the whole pyramid thing, I'm gonna assume it's based on the movie. Which I don't think was as bad as some people make it out to me. I mean, yeah, it wasn't great. But other than the first Aliens... Well, Alien, arguably Aliens, and the first Predator, I mean, how many of any of those movies are all that good, to be honest with you? I mean, the first Alien is a classic, and Predator 1 is a classic, but I'd say as a whole, the Predator franchise has been even worse. At least, Alien has aliens, and I'm not a huge fan of it, but it's not that it's a bad movie. It's probably the best the sequel could be, but it's James Cameron. He turned it into an action film, and I was always more into Alien for the unknowable horror aspect and the Giger artwork.
There's so many eggs.
I'm sure he'll destroy them.
I really hope you're right.
But Aliens 3 is trash. I know a lot of people defend it, especially the assembly cut or whatever it's called, but
Really close.
yeah, I just kind of find that movie to be trash. I preferred Resurrection, which is also trash. I'm not in any way, shape, or form trying to defend that movie either, but it's fun. It's fun trash.
Those targets now.
Seems the hunter just
Prometheus was just, ugh. And Alien Covenant had Danny McBride, who I really like, and that was about it. But yeah, neither film franchise is full of quality, even though they have first movies that are straight up and up, out and out classics. That when I hear people say the first AVP was bad, I kind of laugh. It's like, compared to what? Now the sequel, the second AVP movie, was horrible. I don't think I even was able to finish it. But the first one, for what it wasn't bad. It had Lance Hendrickson. The main woman wasn't bad. I kind of liked her. While it didn't
He's blocking the breach on the right.
ever get the exploration it deserved, the introduction of the xenomorph into the Predator biology was interesting, and it had some decent ideas. It just struck me as less of a bad idea and more good ideas given to not that awesome director with a low budget. Pretty much is what I think of that movie.
He's good.
Not that it really matters to the pinball
He's
table, but
aiming at those targets now.
and I'm
Watch your step.
thinking about doing some of that on the channel too, now that I know about the software and adding tracks. Like, for instance, I'm going to be doing my top video games of the year, and I'm also going to talk about my 2 favorite albums of the year at some point. And I'll do it over footage of games. What and how may differ a little. In fact, the video games, 4 of my choices are games I own, so it'll be over footage of their actual respective games.
Fast learner.
How can you tell?
His moves
My number
are
1 game of the
cautious
year
now.
is something I got from the library, though, so I'll probably end up just talking about it over some pinball. That's one of those mission modes that you can, sometimes I can get every single ball, and sometimes you miss every
Now he's
single
chasing the
one.
creature.
How do you always know he's up to?
I have my eyes open most of the time.
He has a kind of targeting system, right?
Yep, lock that one again.
There are more hunters now?
Just try not to get in their way. He's clearly aiming at those targets now.
That's what I mean about the silence.
Nice.
Playing this, I don't really mind. I let the game do its talking for it. But when I'm playing some other games for Let's Play, I'll be sitting there and realize I've been silent for a while and make a huge deal out of trying not to be silent. It was awkward. Which left me with a bunch of Adventure Time footage that I just don't feel comfortable using, even with editing.
There's so many eggs.
I'm sure he'll destroy them.
Ooh, set off that ball too.
Okay, that was nice.
Yeah! Wow! He's clearly aiming at those targets now. Nice!
Seems the hunter just sealed the breach on the left.
Crap. Get that target up there. Try to, at least.
Wow!
There we go.
He's good. Thousands of years ago, these hunters taught humans how to build pyramids.
What? We built this pyramid for them?
Seems so. Now your friends use people to breed these creatures.
For the last time, they are not my friends.
Could have fooled me. I'd much rather have a predator for a friend anyway.
Boom!
He has a backup plan?
There was a time I would have told you aliens don't have friends, but
Good.
then we got David. Thank you, Ridley Scott. Ugh.
He's clearly aiming at those targets now.
It's also one of those tables, I feel like there's a ceiling. Because after you set off the last fight, the modes don't just reset, they work differently. And it's just, feels like there's a scoring ceiling installed. It's one reason I've never really gone out of my way to try and up my score on this game. Unlike Act 2, everything resets after you solve out the wizard mode. Okay, what do we got? This
What's
it?
he doing now?
No,
I'm
trapping
not
him.
sure. I think he's trying to catch the creatures with that device.
What? How can you...
Give it a rest. I'm just guessing.
Yeah, like 10 out of 10?
Ugh. And now I think need to set off.
Look at him go!
I didn't realize the save was there. I'll kick back. I think that's why I use the word save, because even though not every kickback acts like a kickback, when I think of the term kickback, I think of those tables where it literally shoots the ball right back up. And that's more of a floor gate, because it's got those little sides, which, if I had my nudge game on point on this table,
He's good.
is important. Like, the same thing on the Arc 2 table, where the sides flap.
Wipes the floor with that creature.
So you're on his side now?
Alright, we got it.
You're in the middle of a war. It's time to pick a side.
Oh, shut up.
I just don't know what I had to do to set it off. I think this is it. Oh yeah. There goes the wizard mode.
Okay, that was nice.
That's right! He's clearly aiming at those targets now. Wow! He's clearly aiming at those targets now. Look at him go!
It seems the hunter just sealed the breach on the left.
Oh, that was good.
He's good.
Okay. That's fine. This part more annoying than anything else, but not the worst score in the world.
Look at him go!
And I
Thousands
don't
of years
know
ago, these hunters taught humans how to build pyramids.
how that compares to my
We built this
current
pyramid
score,
for them?
because I have the
So-
pop-ups off.
Now your friends use people to breed these
Just
creatures.
because with the
For the
amount of
last time,
video
they
I've been
are
doing,
not
I just
my
don't feel
friends.
like it's fair to my friends list to have their gamer tags
It's like the
all
hunters running out of
plastered
options.
over YouTube without their permission. So
Damn, that thing's ugly.
well,
He just ran out of time.
I think I'm gonna end this now. I'm kinda hungry, wanna eat, and pretty much accomplished what I was trying to accomplish. So thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Have a good day.